So I'm starting to think about my old high school reports and how they'd say I was easily distracted by others. After 30 odd years, I think they've been proven right. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt, and on this episode we're taking the Guzzi to get to be looked at. I owe one motovlogger an apology, and we talk about my latest purchase. So let's start with the apology. I owe fellow motovlogger Easy Does It an apology, and for the reasons that we'll get to it, we'll get to that soon. So just a little backstory, a bit of flame filtering. Early last year, when COVID hit, I sold a couple of bikes, had a bit of cash in the pocket, yeah, just preparing for the worst. A bit of uncertainty with work and all that. Turned out I had nothing to worry about, but still, it's better to be prepared. So I sold two bikes, and I was doing some private work or freelance work, as I think they call it in the States. Sorry, just full of concentration with flame filtering. When you get to 30 Ks, especially when you got a wobble, we'll get to that later. Alright, so, where was I? Oh, that's right. Anyway, I was doing some private work on a former mechanic's garage who used to make a living out of working on Ducatis and mostly Italian motorcycles. He used to even work on the Guzzi. And I spied in the corner of his workshop a 600 SS, a mid-90s one. Been in an accident, and so it needed a bit of repair. And I asked him, I said, look, who owns that, and would they be interested in selling it? And his response, well, it's mine, and maybe. If I don't start work on it within a certain amount of time, I'll give you a call. It was meant to be a family restoration, you know. He was meant to do that with family members. Anyway, a few weeks later on Facebook, I see he had posted photos of him starting work on it. So I thought, well, that's that. Anyway, as you know, I ended up buying the Kawasaki EL250, and was very happy with it. Got a good deal on it. And more importantly, it actually ran on the first day or second day. Anyway, it ran pretty quickly. By the time I got it home, I had it running in no time at all. So happy days. The plan was do a bit of a customise it a little bit, not too much, just enough to give it a bit of a, you know, try put some aftermarket bits on it, make it look cool in my eyes. And this is where the apology come in. Another motovlogger, Easy Does It. He posted about his Yamaha 250 that he's turning into a bobber or a hardtail, and I contacted him and said, look, I'm doing something similar, maybe we do something on YouTube together, and he come back super positive. Yes, let's do this. And he gave me a lot of support along the way, you know, encouragement, and I was on track I was starting to look for parts for it. I bought some parts that needed repairing on it, so no problem there. But January this year, I get a text, are you still interested in that 600 SS? And what I should have said is, no, I've got enough projects. I've got a little too much on my plate at the moment. But what do I, yeah, no one does that. I ended up to text him, yep, still interested. So he come back with a price, and he'd actually fixed all the mechanicals. He fixed a lot of the broken bits. The only thing left to do was have the fairing repaired and painted. So a deal was done. I went and picked it up, brought it home. So now I have 3 projects sitting in the garage: the 600 SS, the EL250, and the Dharma. Well, Dharma's, as I said, as I pointed out in my previous video on the Dharma update, just waiting in a queue to get it by a mechanic who actually knows what he's doing. the EL250 and the Ducati SS, they're bikes I could get done now, and so that's what I thought I'd do. I'd get started on them. Problem with that is working on two short-term projects. Not only is your attention divided, but so are your funds. So if I was pumping money into the EL250, then that money wouldn't be going into the SS, and vice versa. And I thought, right, I'll focus on the L250, let's get it, it's the one closest to being registered, let's get into it. So I started taking measurements for the new handlebars, started sussing out a sissy bar for the back, and a few other bits and pieces. Actually, I purchased the LED light for the rear, I was sussing out how to mount it. Problem was, I couldn't take my mind off the SS and just think, I really want to get this done. I really want to get both of them done. And just come to the conclusion, couldn't get it done. Can't get them done quick enough, and I want one on the road sooner rather than later. Okay, so I sold the Eliminator, the little 250. I put it up for sale on Marketplace. It was gone in less than 24 hours, as I expected, because it was in pretty good nick. Wasn't perfect, but good enough for someone who wants to get their bike on the road pretty quickly. So, sorry, easy. I couldn't hold on to it. Yeah, too many projectitis. And those of you on my channel that haven't followed Easy Does It, follow his channel. Some really cool content. Not only that, he has one of the coolest dyno models around, and that's the Lowrider S. It is my favourite Harley in the dyno range, and not only that, is when you picture a Harley Davidson, that's what you picture. So yeah, I bought the SS, and over the next few weeks I'll be adding getting things fixed on it, fixing some things myself, getting it resprayed. So we'll see how that goes. I'll try video as much as I can. Today I'm taking in the Griso to be fixed because she develops a bit of a wobble under deceleration. So when you back it off, it won't do it because it's on camera, but it actually had quite a nasty wobble about it. At first I thought it was the motor. Because I've been riding the little CB125 all the time, I thought, well, maybe everything's you notice everything more when you ride different bikes. There it is. So you can feel that little bit of a weave. I don't know if you can see it on camera. You accelerate, and when you back it off, you'll feel the bike wants to do this weave. And I don't know if that's a balance issue on the front tyre that I had replaced recently, or if it's something much more sinister. So taking it to the mechanics to get sorted out. Problem is, I've got to take it to the workshop where I had the tyre put on, because if it's the front tyre that needs to be rebalanced, they'll fix that on the spot. Where if it's something more, then I've got to pay for it. Where if I go to another shop and they find out it's a rebalance of the tyre, that's going to cost me money to fix something I shouldn't have to put the hand in the pocket to pay for. Anyway, we can only hope that's all it is, because I really want to be riding this bike a bit more. I really noticed it on the last big ride when I head out to Trunky Creek and done the run from Trunky Creek to Crookwell. It was very prominent on this bike, especially when you get to speeds of 110. It had a horrible wobble about it. You can feel the wobble a little bit there, and you can't see it, but you can definitely feel it in the handlebars. At first I thought it was just one of those Moto Guzzi, there it is, idiosyncrasies, and once it starts, it gets really, really bad. This is the bike I use for all my big trips, other than commuting around town. If it's anything other than commuting around town, I normally just grab this and away we go. So I like to stay on top of all the issues if this bike develops any. Not that it's had any issues, it's the first real problem I've had with it since the dash failed, and that was in the first year of ownership. We're coming up 6 years of ownership in a couple of months, and still very, very happy with the bike. So yeah, once again, sorry Easy, just had to sell the EL250. Wanted to focus on both the Ducatis, and anyone that has ever dealt with Italian princesses before know these things are not cheap. Anyway, more on that in the next vid. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next vid. And oh, look at this traffic. Oh, this sucks. Alright, should have gone straight. Can't believe I used to do this commute every bloody day. Oh, how horrible. I don't miss doing this, going through traffic to deal with this, that's for sure.